Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's number one mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello, Celtic Nation.
Hello, hello. Last time we'll be recording a remote. Actually, well, not last time, but last time for now is in 2 days. You'll be joining me in Argentina.
Buenos Aires. No hablo español. I've been practicing.
That's not gonna help you.
I know. You will help me.
Yeah, we'll be fine. But maybe we'll have a live podcast next week.
Yeah.
I don't really have any equipment, so it'll be either, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Just record it on a phone or something. Claudia has a camera.
I have my iPad too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll figure it out. It's more, it'll be a lower quality episode than usual, although not like you usually use your microphone anyway.
It's a prop.
It is a prop. Week after week. Behind the scenes, if you're wondering.
Next week, it'll be plugged in next week.
Well, next week you're here. 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks it'll be plugged in.
Well, lots has happened since we last recorded. We got 5 games on the docket since we recorded early last week. As we're recording this on Friday,
What's our
January
streak?
20th.
What's our streak now? Is it 9?
That's a good question. What is the streak? I was going to say, as of now, Celtics are 34-12, first in the Atlantic, first in the East, first in the NBA. And let's get the streak going. Celtics are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in a row.
Woo.
Last loss was in OKC. Someone got a kick in the butt after that game. That's for sure.
Yes.
And we've been on a tear ever since. So let's start. Last game since we last spoke was Celtics beat the Pelicans what was that, Wednesday? 125-114. Shorthanded Pelicans, no Ingram, no Zion. Yeah, I mean, they're not exactly super dynamic team without them. But what'd you have? Your highs, lows?
Well, it was closer than it should have been at times.
Correct. Agreed.
For missing Zion and My highs were Jaylen Brown and Al Horford. Jaylen Brown, 71% from the floor, 50
monster,
efficient, 34 minutes.
Yeah.
He had 12 rebounds. And Al 62% from the floor, 66 from 3. And then we had Brogdon. So I think Jaylen was my high, but Brogdon was 63% from the floor, 40% from 3.
Yeah,
and those 3, I think, just stepped up a little bit more. Jason Tatum, same thing. He was 45, and he did well as well. But I think Jaylen Brown, very, very efficient. You want to say your high before my low?
Sure. I had Jaylen as well. I also had ball movement. I thought it was the first game we really moved the ball well in a while. Kind of get back to that beginning season flow, hit the open man, lots of open threes. So yeah, Jaylen was ridiculous. 41 points, hyper efficient.
And my low is tied to him. 0 assists, 0, not 1. That's my low. You're right about ball movement. I think against this team, we looked very confident, comfortable. Passing was probably better than it has been in most games, except for the guy that got 41 points. And he was on fire, don't get me wrong, but my low was 0 assists. I mean, my feeling is those two, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, can never have 0 assists. You gotta So that was my low. That's not a bad low to have, really.
Yeah, and everyone else, I mean, to get back to ball movement, Grant Williams 4 assists, Tatum 4 assists, Horford 4 assists, Derek White 6 assists, Brogdon 4 assists, Cornette to it. Like we were moving the ball well otherwise. But my low was Hauser. But we're gonna put a pin in this because I want to talk more. But this is a larger story, so I want to talk more about this later. So that was my low, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, anything else on this game? Nothing. I mean, they were undermanned.
Honestly,
Closer than it should have been, but I was never really nervous.
Rebounding was great. We had 50 to their 33.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that helped a lot. Yeah. And
Cornette
it's funny for
great.
how well we were shooting. Still only 34% from 3-point overall as a team. Yeah. So nope, that's it for me. That was a fairly easy one, at least in the second half.
Yeah, home versus a shorthanded team. Was never really in doubt, in my opinion. Next one was we traveled to Brooklyn for another shorthanded team. Thursday on the back-to-back, we played the Nets and won again. What else is new? 109-98. Yeah, I mean, again, not the same without KD. I believe the Nets.
And we didn't have Jalen either.
True. I mean, fair enough. Yeah. Jalen hurt, missed a couple of games. This is the first one.
And first half was close. I mean, I thought
the Nets. I think the Nets are now 0-4 since KD is out. So
first half I thought was good. I thought they were shooting.
It was a competitive
well.
most of the way.
Yeah.
I'll do my high first, which was Pritchard. I mean, that dude's just unbelievable. Anytime he gets minutes, he's like an immediate impact guy. And Brown was out. Did Smart play this game?
He did.
He did?
Yes. Yep.
So I guess just because Brown was out, he got those minutes and made the most of them. As he always does, which is just like.
And it's funny because he only played 14 minutes, but you remember it. It was a little spark kind of.
Always.
14
you
minutes.
Always do. And again, we're going to get to this because I have more thoughts on this. Yeah. My low was high. Tatum.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I'm with you. That was my low. Yeah. Let's share our lows.
He just
2 for 10, 20% from 3, 31% overall, 22 shots, 38 minutes. He did have 11 rebounds and 5 assists. So I will give him that he is working on the other, but agreed.
It didn't seem like the ball was moving like normal this game, and I felt like it got stuck with him a lot, and a lot of the usual complaints with him. It is
inefficient.
What it is. Yeah. I think because was Brown was out, he wanted to kind of maybe make a statement, and it just didn't really work out that way.
Yeah, it was slow. It felt like the ball was in his hand. My high was Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon, because I think those two stepped up incredibly well. I think their shooting percentage was good. I think their hustle. I think they replaced Jaylen Brown well. Like I just think between them, I mean, Derek White played 36 minutes, and in this particular game, which he had not had, last game was not, or last couple games have not been this. He shot well, but he also has played incredible defense. I just think a lot of hustle plays and stands out a little bit. And that seems to be getting a little more confident with each game. And Malcolm Brogdon, same thing. I thought he stepped up when we needed.
Before this game, and we'll get to the games after, he's been an absolute beast. He is making some 6-man of the year noise.
Sure, we would have pulled this game off as well, because Tatum he was having a little bit of a lull, and So anyway, that was my high. And again, my low was just how Jason Tatum played. And when he is struggling, that is my reason where I don't get into the MVP. When he is struggling, he has a bit of a head case and has a problem. Second half, I thought he got back into it. First half, I just thought he was a little bit out of the game. When he is not, in a groove offensively, he takes himself out of the defense. He takes himself out of,
it just affects our whole team. It's like,
agreed.
It's not like he's slumping and we kind of move it without him. It's like it just slows everything down, and just kind of we get totally stuck in the mud if he's slumping.
So just how he handled it was my low as well. The only other comment about that game is could the media focus on Ben Simmons anymore? I don't know about how you were watching it, but the flash to his face and the question about his points. And he actually had 13 assists. He played pretty good D. The rest of his game was fine. He cannot score for some reason. And
No.
literally, of all the discussions that the media had, I bet he got more airtime than any other individual almost. Oh, more
Maybe.
flashes of the camera, like crazy conversation. The pressure on that kid, I feel as though he's gonna crack. I do. He's
he already has. He doesn't
Yes.
shoot.
But what? Yeah. He just is offensively lost at this point.
It's an issue for them. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you play him, you're just playing 4-on-5. Like it's
Yes.
even there was like a fast break where he just can't. He's like one-on-one.
He
He just
did
can't
have
get rid of it
13
quick
assists,
enough.
though. 13 assists. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Sure.
So,
I
and it was
mean-
only 26 minutes. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, but when that's all you try to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But the flashes by the end of the game, I was like, okay, stop flashing to Ben Simmons and his lack of points. We get the picture. If you've been watching the game, you know the issue. But anyway,
It's odd. It's just
I started feeling sorry for him by the end of the game. Like, oh,
yeah.
if he watches any replays or anything, like, oof. All right, that's all I have for that one. Again, second half, I think we handily.
Yeah. Well, that theme is going to continue as we get to the next game. Celtics beat the Hornets 122-106 in Charlotte, first of two there. I mean, my high was ball movement again. I thought like we're moving the ball like we did kind of early season. I think that's a good sign.
Yes, agreed.
Not much else to say about this game. I mean,
my high was Brogdon.
Yeah,
I thought he really just pulled Jaylen Brown's weight again and really had a seamless game. He did.
My high would have been Brogdon for a couple of these, but I used him as my high twice last week, and I could have used him at least twice this week. So I was I
think he was just that extra push because, I mean, 3-point shooting, we still weren't doing very well. If you go down through the stats, our 3-point, and he was at 66. So I think he was that little bit of extra. And this game was close. A large portion of, they kept kind of sneaking up on us. They were with us the first half and kind of kept creeping up the beginning of the second half. We took it eventually, but I think he was that little nudge that sort of pushed us over. Shooting wise anyway. He and Al. Actually, Al had it was a good game for Al as well. Jason Tatum was only at 28%. My low was, I believe, our 3-point shooting percentage. Oh no, that was theirs. Never mind. I don't have a low for this one. I think Jason Tatum's 3-point shooting 4 for 14. He took 14 shots. He was at 28%. So that I circled that. I think that was my low. Is we got to kind of figure that out. If over 50%, you can't be shooting at 28. Go ahead.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if this was the game, but one of them he talked about he had like a finger thing. Was it the Nets game that because he airballed a couple and he said like he's dealing with a finger issue or something. But yeah, just what it is. My low is first half defense. I mean, in some of these games against opponents like this that just aren't very good, it's like we just are asleep at the wheel. It's like just lots of just easy buckets that are just kind of some head scratchers. And I think as we get further in the season, it gets more and more concerned. Beginning of the year, it's like we're at a record high offensive pace. The defense, wasn't as much of a concern because you were up big in a lot of those games. But like as you get to the playoffs, you don't want to be giving up silly buckets.
Yes. And in this game, our lane defense was particularly horrible. Horrible.
Yes, just in the layup after layup, it was like, come on.
Too many open people.
If you just put a couple bodies in there, like
agreed. It was painful. It was very painful.
It would have been over and you can
and so I think we adjusted a little bit the second game for that.
Agreed. That's why I said first half defense was really my low. I thought
second game.
Oh yeah.
Second half, second game. I think they shut that down a little bit better than they did this game.
Yes.
But I will say in that first half, it looked like the Hornets, the last place in the East team in the East, moved the ball incredibly well on offense.
I know.
Like they looked really kind of offensively very good in the first half. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, our defense was very weak. Agreed. Good low.
All right. Well, we played the Hornets again. I was like, I'll be honest, I like half paid attention to this game while I was doing other stuff. Saturday afternoon, the Hornets just stink. They're just not fun to watch. Just even when they got close in the fourth quarter, I was like, I had no doubt that we were going to pull that game out. It was just, they're just not very good.
Agreed. I think we start to let our guard down a little bit in general with teams like this, and then people creep in, and
it was like
my high was Jason Tatum. Is the game I've been waiting for. His percentages. This is the game that I think everybody was waiting for. He was comfortable at the three. He looked good at the three. Like, that is the, MVP. He had 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Again, for my liking, a little too much ISO. A portion of his shots he doesn't get them off quickly. He's not efficient with some of them. I mean, that's just a known thing. But he was shooting well. He was very, very well. And that's kind of the game I think we've been waiting for a while now, is for him to look comfortable, so that he deserved that MVP chant in my mind. 51 points.
And I don't know, it's a good game to have it too, because, as much as I've been railing on how bad Charlotte is, this is a kind of back-to-back on the road against a bad team. It was definitely, ripe for kind of a fall asleep, get upset game. And, Tatum just shut any door of that being a possibility, because he just, if Tatum's efficient, it's like, it's over for the other team. It doesn't really matter who we're playing.
My only low for this game is Tatum played 40 minutes. 40 minutes, 10 seconds. Like, this is the last place team in the East. I'm all for him pumping him up with 51 points. That's fantastic. But again, 40 minutes, the last place, it's a long season, and you can't be playing the Hornets 40 minutes for 40 minutes. You can't be playing them for 40 minutes.
Agreed.
So I disagree with the load management of that. He's got to play less. You've got to manage those minutes a little better. If you're not doing it against the Hornets, who are you going to do it against? Like, what? So that was my only low, is he shouldn't have been out there for 40 minutes. I don't care how hot he was. I don't care, he should have. And I think by fourth quarter, we pretty much had secured our win. That's it for that game for me, unless what was your low? Anything?
My low was the Hornets. Man, they stink. And I don't like, I think of any team right now, they are who I would be most pessimistic about. I don't even know what this team is.
The first game, because our defense was so poor, I think we made up the second game a little bit. We had a little bit of better defense. I thought they moved the ball, but that was probably because our defense was so terrible. I thought the second game, it was ISO after ISO after ISO. Like,
I had LaMelo. I had LaMelo as
was
possibly player of the week after the first game. After the second game, was like, nope, not now.
Yeah.
Oof.
But it was ISO after ISO for those two, instead of sort of moving the ball and playing. I don't know.
Like you look at the other bad teams, like Orlando, Detroit, our favorite Detroit.
Yes. They moved
Rockets. Not even move the ball well. It's like they're young. You knew they were going to be bad. They have a lot of young players that have been,
but unselfish.
Yeah, but this team has like LaMelo and then like Rozier and like Gordon Hayward's. Like, what is this team? Like, how did this team get to this place where they're like veteran? Like, it's like a kind of half veteran team, but they're still bad. And like, I don't know, just. Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Not high in the Hornets. I'll stop bashing the Hornets. We'll get to last night's game.
They're already feeling low with their last place.
Exactly. we'll get to last night's game, the best of the week, best for last. Celtics somehow beat the Warriors in overtime, 121-118.
I gotta be honest, I didn't think they were gonna win. I don't think any of the coaches, I don't think the coaches, if you looked over at all of the Celtic coaches, I don't think we could have looked more like lame, no answers, not talking for a while there.
No.
It was like,
I mean,
I don't think they thought we were gonna, Crazy,
not only that,
crazy.
I thought we played poorly, like most of the game.
Yep.
That's
and
what
they did too.
So
their statistics, our statistics are almost exactly alike. We follow the number, like it's kind of crazy. It's crazy. What was your high?
My high was Rob. Thought he just affected the game, especially in the first half. So first half they went small, kind of on purpose. They said, we're gonna play. I mean, what was their starting lineup? It was, they had Draymond Green at the center. They had Poole, Thompson, Curry. They said, we came out with Al and Rob, and their kind of chess move was, we're going to go really small on you guys if you play Al and Rob. And I thought Rob just affected the game to the point where they couldn't play that anymore. Like it was the alley-oops, just defensively, he was good enough to hang with those guys. I just thought it was like, they had to kind of give up on, I think their thinking was, Al and Robert Williams aren't going to be able to handle the switches and the picks. And, that's going to happen with the Warriors sometimes, but they kind of had to give up on that strategy because, they had to play Kevon Looney some minutes and, I don't know. Lamb was in there too, but like, I just thought he hung in there with, a team where, that's kind of where Rob can get lost, is when it's like you have the guards running around and backdoor cuts, he's lost, he's kind of a no man. Like that's where and I thought he just handled it extremely well.
Yes, agreed.
What was your high?
My high was our second half defense, really the fourth quarter. I think that scrappiness sort of pushed us
100%
a bit above them. Really, I do. I think that made the difference, the complete difference in the game, and how we started to scrap our way. That's the last year Celtics right there. That defense that every loose ball, someone's on the floor. You are deflecting passes. We almost seem to be back to that great defense in the fourth quarter. They wanted this win. Who are we kidding? No,
Yeah, they did.
They wanted this one badly.
Did.
And I don't care what Jason Tatum said after the game. The first game, we sort of made it about losing the finals last year. I think that's what we got lost in. But this game, it's just a game of the season. I'm like, are you kidding me? The crowd, who is not rooting to beat the Warriors?
I actually have a funny
this would have been
a
bad defeat, I think. I think mentally, this would not have been a good loss for us. Because I think there's a very good chance, a lot of people don't think, I think there's a very good chance they do very well in the playoffs, the Warriors. I think they are one of the smartest, well-coached teams I have ever seen. They are so smart, so smart. Go ahead, what's your story?
1,000 a bit. So I watch, as I do most Celtics games these days, I watch them in the morning now because it's too late here, a lot of the starts. So I just watch them first thing when I wake up. I kind of hide the score from myself. Wake up, watch the game on League Pass. But for some reason, they messed up the stream this morning. And for the game, like the video they posted for the game was just Steve Kerr's press conference after the game. So I'm clicking through and I'm like, I can't watch the game. Like, what is happening? They just posted, like, I have no other way to watch the game. Like, I was like, am I just gonna have to spoil the score and like not watch the highlights or something? I was like so frustrated. But they have alternate broadcasts. So I'm like, okay, they have the Spanish broadcast. I'll watch the Spanish broadcast. Cool. I live in Argentina. I know enough Spanish now. I'll watch the Spanish broadcast. The Spanish broadcast was terrible. They're like, it sounded like they were recording on like an iPhone, like between the two guys. And they had like the crowd, like the stadium noise way down. Like Al had like the block on Poole in the first like quarter, and you can hear the crowd go crazy, but I can't hear it. I'm like, I want to hear that. Like, at least if I'm listening to the alternate broadcast, I want to hear the crowd, and I can't hear anything. Like like you can't hear like any court noise at all, any players, any, the floor squeaks, can't hear any of that. So I say, screw this, I'm out. I try the English one again, doesn't work. So I end up watching most of the game on the Korean broadcast.
Because at least they had the crowd.
Because they had the crowd noise. And so yes, I watched this game mostly the way through with the Korean broadcast. It was fine. They were much better than the Spanish broadcast. Was terrible. I watched some Spanish broadcasts for the finals because I was in like Patagonia, like more remote Argentina, didn't have the game. And they were fine, but like, I don't know, they must have had like the Spanish B team or C. It was terrible. I think they were like doing it remotely. It was so bad. So I watched the Korean broadcast. They showed all the stats and it was all in Korean. I'm like, I think that's points per game, but I'm not really sure.
That is hilarious. Oh, I would have been driven crazy. And I like TNT. So I like their broadcasters. I like Stan Van Gundy and I don't know who the other guy was. Forgot his name. They actually pay attention to the game. They actually talk about stories that are relevant to the players on the floor and what the teams need to work on, what they're letting up. Very enjoyable.
I like both the Van Gundys. They're some of the better broadcasters.
They had a little story which you probably missed in Korean where
definitely missed.
He tweeted out, I think it was a tweet. He tweeted out something about back-to-backs and how we were handling that better, managing time better, something. I can't remember what it was. Well, anyway, he tweeted out something, and KD tweeted out, I saw spitting.
yes.
And
I saw this on Twitter.
Stan Van Gundy thought he was attacking him and he read it wrong, and so he goes.
He didn't understand like the
It was so funny. So the whole night, the other commentator was saying, "And Stan's spitting again." The whole night, it was hilarious. I
saw that one on Twitter. Funny. Yeah,
I wouldn't have known if that was a positive, negative. I don't know. Stan's spitting. Yeah. Thank God he was like, I'm old. I'm really old. I am not gonna get the context of that. He was hilarious. I really enjoy his commentating.
Well, I did not get to listen. I had the Korean broadcast, but let's get back to the game.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good one.
What was your high? I don't remember. I had Rob.
Okay. So my high, second half defense, really the fourth quarter. Scrappy. Yeah, scrappy. Yeah. My low, offensive flow. Oh my goodness. The passing up front, what was going this, we had 17 turnovers as it was. Some of those passes all the way through the game. But it looked like we reverted back to those weird, we haven't done it in a while. The passes almost anyone can steal, like up at the front, just tossing it back to Tatum, and like these weird, where even if they didn't make a steal, they were close to getting a steal at times. Like, I thought our flow was off. Our passes were not that good. Our offensive flow was my low.
Yeah, I had lack turnovers.
Of flow. Thank God they had 16. They had almost as many as we did.
But theirs didn't seem as like boneheaded as ours. Ours were like Smart at the end of the game. The two passes that almost cost us the game. I was like,
Tatum had one. Yeah. What?
Tatum had one to Brown, lazy one that Poole immediately stole and scored, and then Tatum had the one where he's like trying to do a fast break and like gets. Tatum had 7. Smart had a couple of really boneheaded ones at the end. He had 4.
Yeah.
And it just felt like last year, like where we just like try to just shoot ourselves in the foot. It's like, how can we lose this game? This really did feel like last year, where it was like we try everything we can to lose and miraculously somehow win. But
both teams played terribly. Second half, the Warriors just I don't know what they did.
I just feel like they
made two mistakes. I feel like the Warriors did. One, Klay Thompson was shooting lights out in the first half. Do you remember how many the second half he shot? Not that many. Total shots, he only had 16.
He was in foul trouble, though. Obviously, he ended up fouling out. But
and so
that's part of it.
So he was out for a portion of it, but even when he came back in, it was like he wasn't on the floor. It was all about Steph Curry. So I think they made a big, Steph had 25 shots. Jordan Poole, who I thought played well, but he had 25 shots. How does Jordan Poole have more shots than Klay Thompson? I don't get it. Not the way Klay Thompson was shooting at the beginning. And maybe our defense stepped up on Klay Thompson, and that was part of it. I don't know. But it was just very interesting to me how he dropped off the second half. Like, you know, he had 18 points the first half. He had 6 the second half.
Well, I can tell you part of it. Look at their minutes. Playing the whole game. Curry played 43 minutes.
Yes.
They have no bench.
Oh, yes.
And that's the difference for them this year.
Look at us. Look at our minutes. Look at Tatum.
What?
That's my next conversation.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Agreed.
Like what? So that's my first mistake. I think Klay Thompson should have been in the offense, the rotation in the offense a little more than he was. They're crazy. He shot 50% from 3, 50% overall, and he got in a groove in the first half and never got in a groove in the second half. And Steph Curry did not have enough points in the second half, and I think he took a lot more shots in the second half. So I don't know if that's a territory.
He just started
kind of
missing
thing,
a little bit.
And then their second problem was Kevin Looney and that screen that he sets. That first game that we played there, we didn't even know how to handle it. The screens that he set for Curry and for Klay Thompson, we couldn't do anything about. He's so big and so strong, and they sort of
they'll do the double screen with him and Draymond, where they set a screen and then another screen, and then
they lost that. And when Looney came in, I thought he played. I don't think they played him enough personally. I thought he actually contributed quite a lot.
He's always good for them. Yeah,
he only played 20 minutes.
12 rebounds in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand. He was playing incredibly
1 for 1.
well.
Yeah.
So that, I think they made a huge mistake not having Looney in a little bit more and Klay Thompson shooting at least a little bit more. 16 shots. I don't know. So I'm glad they made those mistakes, but
I think the tables have just or the script has just flipped. Last year, I think the difference in the finals, one was Steph Curry, who's out of this world, and 2 was the bench. They don't have Gary Payton Jr. They don't have Otto Porter. They only played 3 bench guys, one of which was Looney, one was Lamb, who didn't really do much, and DiVincenzo was okay.
Yeah, Lamb's not very.
And
he's
just a defensive body. He actually played pretty well on Tatum.
Their defense is pretty good, all in all. I think they are a very good defensive team and smart.
But like for us, again, I can't harp on how good Brogdon's been enough, but in the first half, he was the difference.
Yes,
all those threes, he cooled off and ended up, having a kind of inefficient night. But
agreed.
But just having a guy like that, I think, is all the difference. They basically have theirs. If you look at the Warriors stats, their starting lineups, like plus minus, is one of the best in the league, and their bench just kills them.
Yeah.
They just don't have the guys bench wise.
Yeah.
And we do. Now we have Brogdon. Now, Derek White came off the bench this game because, we had Brown back and stuff. That's going to matter. And I think it did this game, even though, White didn't play very well. But
I don't think he shot very well, but I do think he had some very good defensive plays. I think he's going to maintain a very strong rotation with certain teams. I think he's going to be that role player, that Rob Williams. I think he's
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you have all those guys, it matters because if we're playing the Warriors in a series again now, Derek White's over 6 tonight, but the next game, maybe Brogdon's over 6 and he's 7 for 8 or something. Like having those guys that can give you buckets and kind of counter each other. And I just think we just have the guys, and it just doesn't seem like they do this year. I think that really makes the difference.
The only other thing I was going to say about this was our points in the paint was another. I thought we did a very good job of getting into the paint this game. A very good job. We only shot 41 threes, which seems like a lot, but not on 108 shots. We had 108 shots. Granted, it was overtime as well, but to see that percentage a little lower than 50% is very exciting for me.
But that's, I think that comes from what I was kind of talking about at the beginning. They went small and we had to counter. And you have that lob to Rob, which is always an effect. If you get in the paint and the other guys are smaller, they have to, the lob to Rob at the bit is just a game changer, because you can just either go to the basket uncontested or lob it to him. And a team like the Warriors, who, if they're not going to play Looney, doesn't, like, there's no one that can guard that.
Agreed.
And I think that he's just that piece that can change a game like that if the team's going to go small.
I think that's about all I had. Steph Curry's last minute shot was terrible. And I think that the one when he tried for the buzzer beater and Al lunged at him, and if he had gone up normally instead of fading back, he probably would have been fouled and been on the line. Did you rewatch that? Did you see that when the replays? I was like, I totally would have fouled him. I totally would have fouled him. I don't know if they would have called it. I'm not sure if Al was.
Well, I mean, they probably would have, because I was about to say that call on Al against Wiggins was ridiculous. Come on.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he skimmed his arm.
Lightly,
barely.
Yeah.
Come on. That was ridiculous.
Yes, I think if he hadn't faded back, if Steph hadn't faded back so far to put it up and just gone up, he would have gotten the foul shots. Thank God he didn't. But Al lunged basically, and he doesn't do that normally. But it was a super fun game. I don't think either team shot particularly well or played particularly well, especially the second half. I think I
was going crazy at the end of the game with the Korean broadcast. Jaylen Brown was huge. I mean, at first, missing a couple of games, he looked so rusty, and then right when we needed to, he was like, he remembered that he's Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Like he started the game like 2 for 12 or something.
Yeah.
And then I think he went 6 for 6
second
after
halves
that.
Were better. I think Jason Tatum picked it up in the second half as well. Because in the first half, I don't think anybody was shooting very well. Oh, and in the end, they didn't. I mean, I circled that too. 33% from the floor, Jason Tatum, 30% from three. And Jaylen Brown was 33% from the floor, 25. Difference is Jason Tatum took 13 threes and Jaylen Brown only took 4. A little bit of a difference there. And Jason Tatum's threes really came in the third, fourth quarter, when we needed them.
Correct. Yeah. Everyone stepped up when we needed them. I thought we were toast.
Previously to that, but it was a big win. I'm so happy because I think mentally they needed it. And I think Celtic Nation needed it. We needed that win. So it was a big win, a messy win, but a big win.
All right. Opponent of the week. We were texting about this. There's a lot of bad teams this week. Who you got?
I think this round was hard. This was a hard
one.
Nobody really stood out. I thought you're going to be shocked with mine. Yeah. Mine was the second game with the Hornets, Plumlee. I thought he played very well. He did. Plumlee. I thought, yes. He shot 77% from the floor, 7 for 9. He had 12 rebounds and 7 assists. And he was scrappy for minutes there on the floor, getting rebounds, knocking things out. I thought he stepped up. But isn't that crazy?
He's definitely on the wrong team, and he's definitely a trade piece that they should trade like right now, because they should. The Hornets should be having a fire sale. They should be trading Rozier. They should be trading Hayward. They should be trading Plumlee. Blow it up. Trade everyone but Melo.
I've never seen him play like that. It was like a fire was lit under him, and he was tired of losing, and he was going to be scrappy, and he just kind of turned it on for that game. And he played 31 minutes. The game before, he did not play 31 minutes. And when we played them previously, we played 32. Never mind that. But anyway, I thought he stepped up when somebody needed to step up on that team. So it's a strange one. I told you I was struggling.
That is an outside choice. But fair enough. Yeah,
What's
Hornets
yours?
were hard. Hornets were hard because first game, as I said, I kind of circled Melo, and then second game he was terrible, and I was like, well. I feel like it was hard playing them twice. No one could stand out for one game, but I kind of copped out. I went with Steph Curry. nobody puts the fear of God in me like Steph Curry.
Even that last shot, it's gonna go.
I mean, after all these years, he's still that guy. This is a pretty bad team without Steph Curry. I mean, Thompson could have a night. I mean, and Draymond is good because he can play off Steph Curry. I mean, he's just still just that dude. I mean, there's just nothing else to say. It's like anytime he shoots the ball, I think it's going in. Like, it's insane. It's like, oh, they run an offense. Oh, you left Steph Curry open in the corner, automatic 3 points. It's like, it's unbelievable. And I mean, he didn't even play that well. And I thought
still played well.
Yeah. I mean, just
that halftime shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't even close to the half court. He was so far away.
Oh.
And it swished.
Swooshed. Unbelievable. Like only Steph Curry. Just anytime he shoots, I just think it's going in. It's like, oh no. Again, it's he's unbelievable.
CJ McCollum
so
was
fun to watch.
Runner up.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. He was good, especially in the first half. Second half, he was cooled off, but he was good. Yeah, I copped out with Curry just because. And there's no one in the NBA that scares me like Steph Curry. Nobody.
Agreed.
He's
a shifty little player, that guy, and he gets inside.
And he's just fun to watch. Just the way he moves and the way the whole team moves around him. Like, as I said, I think if Steph Curry wasn't on this team, I think they'd be pretty bad. I mean, how are you going to score? Thompson would have some nights, but
I give the Warriors credit. I just think they are well coached and they are smart and savvy. And it was, you missed it because you were on the Korean broadcast, but they had Draymond Green wired up. And he said, all right, when you guys go in, keep forcing Jaylen Brown to his left. Keep forcing Jaylen Brown to his left.
I heard that. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I know these guys played us in the playoffs. They watch film. When you play somebody 7 games, you get to know people well or whatever. But that is the type of team that they are. They know our moves. They defend Jason Tatum very well, very well. He did not have his best, most fantastic game. They defend him well. They know our moves. And I think that's what puts them ahead of any team at this point who at parts of the game does not double team Jason Tatum. What are you doing? Do you not know us? Do you not know us?
Yeah.
I question it every time. Like, if you mess him up, we are messed up. So, and I think he's gotten better. I think he is coming out of it faster. I think he figures it out faster than he did. So he's come a long way from last year. Don't get me wrong, but any team, they don't know us. If you're not doing it, or at least you don't try it, you don't know us. And I think that puts the Warriors above. They're just a smart, well-coached team. Very, very savvy.
Yeah.
Because I
agree.
Well, you did say they lost a couple people from their bench from last year, but it's almost the same team that won the championships. And they were not that far from where they are right now last year at this time, so they were pretty low.
Yep.
With all the injuries. I don't count them out.
There's no one I'd rather not face. That's for sure.
And Klay Thompson's averaged 31 points a game in January, they said, thus far.
Yeah,
the last few weeks. So
good.
So he's
I think they would be the team I'd want to face least in the finals still.
Yeah.
Even at 22 and 23.
Look at last night's game.
Yeah.
Look at last night's game.
Even at 22 and 23.
Them,
do not want to see that.
They have our number. Sure. They have our number and they know how to defend us. They do. But anyway, it was a big win. Hopefully we gain that confidence and
keep rolling.
Yeah.
All right. I hinted at the beginning, the Hauser conundrum. Got a DNP last night at single-digit minutes in every game this week. Struggled before that. It's not like this has been, this is out of the blue. But what do you do? What are your thoughts?
So
what would you do? What would you do with Hauser if you were Joe Mazzulla?
I'm going to tell you, I think part of that is, well, one, I mean, Brogdon's been playing so well that a lot of minutes are going to
Agreed.
Brogdon and Derek White. They just are. Their
Yep.
minutes have gone up.
Sure.
But also, Jason Tatum played 48 minutes in the game last night. 48 minutes where he Jaylen Brown was 41 minutes. And granted, it went into overtime and all of that. But I do think that only leaves a certain number of substitutes that you need. When your players and your star players are playing that many minutes, you only need a certain few. And look who we have. We have a Grant Williams. We have a Derek White. We have a Brogdon. We have, Rob Williams, Cornette. I mean, players that add different things and are valuable. You just don't need as many in the rotation. So, and look at Al. He's playing quite a few minutes the last few times that he's played. So again, and granted, Hauser doesn't come in for Al, but the way that we play at times, I mean, Hauser could come in for a few people, right? If it's a shorter team, he can come in for Al. We just play, because he's not that short. I just think there's less minutes, and his shooting,
his confidence just seems shot. It's not,
I agree.
Yeah.
So I think it is unfortunate, but he's just going to have to be scrappy and hope that he gets that chance and gets back in, because I think his defense has gotten better. I think his confidence in the other part of his game has if I'm Missoula, I'm kind of keeping him in the rotation, because you never know what's going to happen the next 30 something games. I mean, it's a lot of room for people to get injured and to be out and to but then again, look at Peyton Pritchard. Same thing. I mean, how many DNPs did he get?
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Well, I was about to say, that's even the thing for me. I'll take it a step further than you. There's almost no situation I'd rather have Hauser than Pritchard. Yeah. Even defensively.
Height.
Pritchard's just that. Yeah, but still, I mean, I don't even care about the height.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
Pritchard is just like that dude. Every time he gets on the floor, a rebound, offensive rebound, you're like, what is happening here? He just, he affects the game in such like a profound way that even with the size, I'd rather have Pritchard out there in almost any situation than Hauser. As pro Hauser as I was to begin the year, it's like, he just, and Pritchard has this instilled confidence that Hauser just doesn't. Anytime Pritchard's like, I'm, the confidence to shoot, knows what to do, calm with the ball.
Fallen off as well. His percentages are low. I mean, he's not as.
I mean, he's still shooting. Yeah, but
he'll get that occasional. He doesn't shoot much. His percentages have gone down a little bit, but he adds in every other way. He's confident with the ball. He can set Tatum up. He gives good passes. He dishes well. He
drive to the basket. You're right. Get an and one here, and it's just
100%. I would choose Pritchard as well. Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
I agree.
It's crazy to say, even if he has to guard a guy way bigger than him, I want Pritchard. Defense. As unfortunate as that is for Hauser, like he did.
But even Pritchard, how deep in the bench is Pritchard? Pritchard's pretty far down there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We just are. You're talking the number one team, the best record in the NBA. You're on that team, and look at how deep our bench goes. And I think that Pritchard and Hauser have to look
could
at
average
themselves
like
as lucky.
15 a game for the Spurs. Easily. He'd be a good player for a bad team.
Yeah. Yep. But I think you have to just relish the fact that you're on a really good team, right?
Yeah.
You have a chance to win a championship this early in your career. Add what you can, learn what you can. And
I mean, did he even hit a 3 this week?
He had one. No. There was one, or maybe I'm thinking Pritchard. But anyway,
no,
it's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, he he had 2 2-point shots, but he did not hit a 3 this week. He was what, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 5, 0 for 6. He was 0 for 6 from 3 this week. Yeah,
I don't know.
Just unfortunate.
Yeah, because he started so hot at the beginning, but
and he started playing. He had good PT, and it's just I just don't. I mean, it's too
But
late
again,
in the year
like I
now
said,
to.
so many people deep on the bench. I mean, and again,
Yeah.
And hopefully as the season goes on, we kind of figure out the managing of the minutes, right? That
Agreed. Get him some garbage time. Start blowing out some teams.
8-minute shaved off Jason Tatum's time so that he's not playing 40 minutes a game, or he's not, come on. Especially against bad teams or tough teams. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I've got. It's an exciting little run here. I think we need to work on our offensive flow a little bit. I hope they watch film and they say, "Ew, we did not move the ball as well as we should have. Our passes were not that good last night at that game." I'm hoping that they tend to see that and not, yeah. But I thought against the Warriors, that's the flow of offense was just not that good. Defense was good. Warriors played good defense, but if I have to watch one more half-hearted post up in the middle of the floor on Jason Tatum and us trying to get him, I want to feed it to you. Wait, I don't know. What? We have no other way to get Jason Tatum the ball. Move and cut. Watch Steph Curry. Steph Curry cuts all over the place, moves all the time. Why are we posting Jason Tatum up by the foul line? Like, it kills me. It kills me.
Yeah.
Okay. Better flow, people. I don't have my points yet. I need the ball. That's all I can imagine. I don't have my points yet. I need the ball. Okay, that's my Jason Tatum rant for the day. That's all I got.
Up next, little mini road trip. Tomorrow we are at Toronto. Monday at Orlando, and then back-to-back at Miami. It's always interesting.
Raptors have not played well.
No, that was my big whiff in our predictions. I had them third in the East. Oof. What I was thinking.
The first time they have some talent.
I
don't get it. Yeah.
I thought Barnes would
take
take a big leap. I thought Anunoby would take a leap, and
yeah, they are a talented team. It's kind of sad.
Orlando. It's going to be an interesting one. 2 losses in a row at home to them.
That's right.
We might come out guns blazing.
Those are the teams I'm always a little bit.
We lost 3 in a row. 2 to Orlando, 1 to Pacers. All at home.
They're third to last. The Magic are.
Yeah. No, we might. I mean, we might come out motivated to push them around a little bit. We'll see.
I hope so.
And then Miami's always
tough.
A tough one. So
looking forward to it.
That's it.
Well, I'll be down there.
Keep rolling. Yep. We might be watching these games together.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
You'll get a taste of my late starts. Fun.
I'm getting ready to watch the Korean broadcast.
Hopefully that's not the case, but
all right.
Next time we'll be reporting live from Argentina. As always, we're worldwide. Find us on all platforms at Shamrock Talk Pod on Twitter, at Shamrock Talk on Instagram. I got to get back on the website. Been slacking on that. YouTube, Facebook, anywhere you can find podcasts. Go Celtics.
Go Celtics.